Hey everybody, welcome to photo share discussion number 249, September 23rd, 2018. Hope everybody's doing well. I got a little bit of a late start. I was just finishing up watching the end of the Tour Championship, which is actually in Atlanta this week, but they hold it down at East Lake Golf Course, and just watching that finish up. Tiger Woods won his first tournament in almost 1,900 days. So kind of dramatic, his comeback and everything he's done there. So it was kind of fun. Justin Rose from the other side of the pond over there in Dennis's area of the world took the FedEx Cup, though, which is a season-long total. And he, I think, won a measly $10 million or something like that. So not much money. Hardly worth the effort, I would imagine. But anyway, so it's kind of nice. It's they hold that every year here at East Lake Golf Course in Atlanta. It's been doing that for 10 or 12 years. We've gone a couple times over the years. It's a nice course, easy to get to. It's well, lots of support, lots of good fan support and everything. So it's kind of fun. But got a little bit, it finished right up at 6, so that's why I'm starting a little late. Hope everybody's doing well. Got a fair amount of, looks like some images in the group. Yeah, there's been some new ones added, it looks like, a few. So we'll talk about that. I didn't make any photos. Well, I did actually. I did make some photos. I went into the darkroom yesterday and had my first stab at printing in the darkroom, which was a bit of an adventure. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I did get some keepers, but I've got a lot of practice, that's for sure. But it was a lot of fun. So I didn't make any new photos with the cameras, but I did take some old photos and put them on paper, which was exciting. Hey, Dennis.
How you doing, Mark?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, fair enough.
Good. Did you see your countryman took 10 million of our dollars today?
Did they? Oh, well, don't know nothing about it.
Justin Rose. I think he's from UK. He won the FedEx Cup, which is kind of the season-long points chase in professional golf. So he just made a putt and secured his $10 million paycheck. So not too bad, I guess.
Not bad. Afternoon's work.
Yeah. But good. Yeah, I was just talking. I did make it into the darkroom yesterday. So
you did, right?
it was nothing if not an adventure. It was fun. I got some stuff. I'll show it. But man, I tell you, I need a lot of practice. I'm going to go through a bunch of paper. I think I'm going to go through a lot of 8x10 sheets.
Yeah, I'd cut a few test strips if I were you.
Yeah, no, I'd use 2 sheets of test strips. Just trying different things, and I got it. I thought I had it right, and then I would do a full sheet, and I'd mess something up along the way. There's a couple of times where I forgot to stop down the lens.
All right, yeah.
So I was doing 8 seconds at 5.6 instead of 8 seconds at f11. So
they get you a nice black sheet of paper, did it?
No, I got a lot of and that's one of the things I'll talk about. I'm assuming I was underexposed at that point. Yeah, that's it's actually reverse, basically. Right? Yeah, more light's going to give it it's going to give it darker. So I was underexposing quite a bit on a few of them, I think. Yeah. So but yeah, I got them all here. I got test strips and a few test strips and things. So it was kind of interesting. I got a couple that came out okay. But yeah, I got a lot of practice because I thought I remembered how to because you've got the there's the lamp for the enlarger, and then about halfway down after the first set of bellows is the slot where you put in the negative. So do you have what type of enlarger do you have? Do you have a Bessler? Is that what it is? Bessemer or whatever?
No, it's not Bessler.
I
can't remember the name of it. It's Italian.
Okay. But it was but yours is probably the same way where you've got that initial bellow, you got the lamp up here, and then you've got an initial bellows, and then you've got the slot where you put in the negative, right? And then you've got the focusing bellows below that.
Now, I've got a color enlarger, which has got you've got like the head is halogen.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a motor that cools it. There's a fan that's cooling it down.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm gonna.
Underneath that, you've got your light mixing boxes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So if you're color one, yeah. So you've got 3 different boxes where you can.
Yeah. Also, then you've got the color filter head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the focusing is done by a bellows with the lens attachment on the bottom.
Yeah. So this is pretty much, I'll show you this. I mean, this is the one, this is just the one I was using is just a black and white one. But it's essentially this one. I'll show you.
Is it got a bulb in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that one there?
Yeah.
So it's got a motor that moves it up and down on the frame. And then it's got the bulb up here. This little door, where the logo is.
Yeah.
It flips up so you can insert filters, color filters.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've got this bellows, which adjusts up and down. And then this is the tray. You flip this little handle back. This drops down, and then you put the you got the negative holder that slides in. Mm-hmm. And then below that is, here's the lens and then the focusing bellows. So, and I remember when the guy was doing it, he mentioned something about adjusting this bellows length, from the lamp to the negative. And I couldn't remember, and I thought I had the note, but I didn't. I couldn't remember where he said if it was closed, if it was the bellows was closed or, the smallest, that would be for like a 35 millimeter. And then you extend it for larger negatives. So
I suppose that's saving you having all different lenses.
The lens down here, I mean, you can switch out the lens. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got different lenses, but I use a 90 mil for
okay.
For medium format.
Yeah, and I think this was, and maybe that was the issue. I didn't play with the lens. I was like, I'm just going to try whatever's here. So I probably need to change. I probably need to go to a larger focal length, I would imagine.
Yeah, because that's going to act like your large format camera. You're going to turn it into macro if you go too far out. Yeah. So I spent so much time trying to get. The main thing was, I had an 8x10 sheet, which is what I couldn't print any bigger than an 8x10, and I wanted to try to get it as close to filling up the 8x10 as possible, and I wanted to get the whole frame enlarged, the whole frame instead of cropping. Yeah. And I couldn't do it. So maybe it was a matter of I didn't have the right. I should have swapped out a lens and gone to a different lens. Yeah. But let me show you my very first print ever. No, I haven't got a large format enlarger. The most I can do is 6x7.
Okay. All right.
And I've got a 90 mil lens and a 50, I think.
Okay. So I've got, I think it was a 90 mil in there, and they've got a couple other ones, and I didn't even bother looking because
you'd have to go 150 or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a little research, but here's my first print ever. You see how I got the image circle didn't fill up the whole page?
Oh, right, yeah.
But
it's different.
Yeah, it is different. It's not what I expected, but it was almost a whole frame. See, the light was really there, but this was like in the shadows over here, where it's kind of fading away.
Yeah.
But that was my very first print. And
it looks like you had the wrong lens, or the bellows is not in the correct position.
Yeah, and it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
So I fiddled around with that, trying to get it to get the whole frame, and I couldn't remember what I did. And so I did a bunch of test strips, and this was the one that I used for the final couple of prints where I thought I had it right. So this was at f11 on whatever that lens was. I don't even remember the focal length, but so 4 seconds, 8, 12, and 16 seconds at f11.
F11, yeah.
Yeah. So
see, the more you shut the lens down, the longer the time of exposure.
Yeah. So this was at f11. So so I had that down, and I started with just this section for 4, then moved it over and did that for 4. So this is getting cumulative. So by the time I got done, this was 16 seconds at f11 and down, and I ended up going with 10 seconds is the one I just figured that this was 4, 8, 12, 16. So I went with 10 seconds because this one seemed a little bit too dark.
Yeah, how did you get on with the focusing?
I got that. The focusing was actually the easiest part with the little grain focuser.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I didn't have to guess at all. I mean, I just got under there, looked, and once it popped, once I could see the grain, it was focused.
Yeah, once you focus on the grain, it's magic.
Yeah, yeah. So the focus was fine. The issue was which one? So I think this one was 6 seconds at f11.
Right.
And it's way underexposed. This one was, this is my best print, I think, exposure wise. It still wasn't centered on the sheet, but this was 10 seconds at f11.
Yeah, getting better.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty good. This one.
If you use the filter head, you can change the contrast on the paper.
Yeah, I tried that, and I was getting confused as it was. So, but because then you have to do a filter then you have to figure in a filter factor.
Yeah.
And depending on I was looking at the one I was looking at using was it was an orange filter, so it was 1.5 stops, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I use
10 seconds. 10 seconds would have been 24 seconds. Basically.
I never go that high. I used to just add a bit more time if your filters are. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't. I fiddled around with it a little bit, but I figured I'm not going to try it. So, but this was 8 seconds at f11. Yeah, but the best thing to do is dial up your filters and then do a test strip. Yeah, yeah, and that's I played around with it, but I'm just going to try to print without the filter just to get. So yeah, that was 8 seconds. So, and then this was 10 seconds. So I think 10 seconds is a little better to what it was actually there. Yeah, and this is a f11, is it?
Yeah, this was f11. And I mean the focus on, I mean, there's so much detail in there.
How far away was the enlarger from the paper?
Maybe 10 to 12 inches, something like that.
Yeah, it's because you're so close. Because obviously, if you raised it to do larger pictures, then the time increases substantially.
Because the light gets diffused. Yeah,
it's getting diffused. Because sometimes I do 30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah, and that's probably. I've got a lot to practice on the focusing. I think that's the main thing. I think I might have had the wrong lens now that we started thinking about it.
Because you can't do a lot of dodge and burn if you've only got 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So my goal is just to get something on paper. I did. So I got the focusing. The fine focusing is good. The thing I need to figure out is to use the right lens, I think, is the big thing. And
yeah,
then,
I've got a large focus scope, which to me is brilliant. It looks right down into the grain.
Mm-hmm.
See all the crystals coming into sharp focus.
Yeah, yeah. I was very happy with that.
You're guaranteed then a lovely picture.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was struggling with was it's got a little crosshatch grid, you know, with wheels, so you can adjust the crop, you know, the line.
Yeah.
On that, and I think I figured that out, but then you have to put the paper in the little you know, the little slot basically on there, and that kept moving around a little bit, and I wasn't able to, you know, as you'll see on this one.
Does it not clamp it?
It doesn't clamp all the way. It doesn't. No, it doesn't clamp.
Because usually there's a lever on the side. Once you slide the film holder in.
Oh no, the film holder. Yeah, the film holder is fine. What I was talking about was on the base, on the bottom of the enlarger, where you've got it's not a it's a little table on the bottom, and it's got a crosshatch pattern, so you can move left and right, up and down to kind of set your margin, set your border around it, around the paper.
You can. It's a masking frame.
Yeah, it's a masking frame. Yeah, that's it.
You can put a 1/4-inch border all the way around.
Yeah. So on this one, you can see I got a decent border here on the one side.
Yeah.
But see how it on this bottom, it kind of tilts, gets thinner.
Yeah.
And then this one there isn't even anything there. And I thought I had it lined up, but apparently not.
Yeah, well, usually there's a scowl on the.
There is.
Yeah.
There is. And I figured out, you know, how to line it up, but it wasn't the paper. I think when I was putting the masking thing down, I think it was moving the paper on the table.
Yeah, it's worse when you're doing color, because you got to do it in a pitch black, and you've got to line the paper up with the stops underneath the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I've printed pictures with a 10x8 the wrong way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
yeah, and so that's gonna take some time, but it was fun. I spent 3.5 hours there. I mean, I could have easily just been in there all day. I mean,
yeah,
it would have been, you know, time goes by pretty quick, and
practice makes perfect.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of practice, so I should be really perfect by the time I get there. But no, it was fun. It was. You know, I think I used one. How many sheets did I use? One. I used 2 for test strips. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I used 9. I used 9 sheets of paper.
Right.
So I've got. I had 25 in a box. So. So I've got one more. I've got one more time in a darkroom, pretty much. You know, if I go down and get a little better, hopefully, you know, if I can get some kind of image that I like and get a consistent result, I'd like to print, you know, 2 or 3 of the same thing.
Yeah, how did the sharpness come out on the pictures themselves? Were you happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sharpness, I think, came out really good. The negatives I was using were pretty good, you know, from original, you know, from my job when I exposed the film. They were pretty sharp. So yeah, that's fine. You get into focus and all that, and then obviously, although this is, you know, the sky's like totally white there, but there was a totally overcast day, so there weren't really any clouds in the sky. So that's not. Yeah. It's not. It might have brought out a little bit more detail, but not a lot in the sky. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I have got some black and whites I've done.
Oh, good.
But they were only really practice shots in the. I don't know if you could. You see these ones, Mark?
Uh-huh. Okay.
This was like the tree.
All right.
Try and line it up. and you can see the thin margin around the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is on glossy paper, so yeah, it's quite large.
Mm-hmm.
There's one of Tim.
Oh, okay. Yep, it's a nice one.
Yeah, and this was from medium format.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure the size of this paper. It's bigger than 10 by 8.
It should be like an A4 size or 11 by 14, maybe.
Yeah, it's a strange size. I got an unopened box of the papers on eBay, and it's quite nice paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is across there. Yeah, it's 9.5. Yeah, it's 12 by 9.5.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
okay, so it's a little bigger. Yeah, that's like A4. Is that A4 size?
Yeah, I don't think it's quite A4, but you know, it's a good idea. As yeah, same thing with the masking frame. So they've got a thin line this side.
Yeah.
Look at this side. They take a lot of sorting out, you know.
Yeah, I fiddled around with trying. I spent about half an hour just playing around with that, and then put the sheet under there, and I was getting, you know, the sheet was moving around. They've got a little like a little channel that you're supposed to put the leading edge of the sheet up against.
That's it, and that's adjustable. The channel, because you can have thicker or thinner. They usually have pegs sticking up.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah,
you have to line it up against the pegs, and then that's adjustable as well. So you can have an inch, you know, half inch, quarter of an inch, all the way around, you know. And then you have to, the adjustable sides, you have to match them to what you're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I just need to take a look at that. I knew I was a little limited for time yesterday because I only had about 3 hours. So I went in there, or first thing in the morning, and did that. And yeah, so I need to read up a little bit more and practice a little bit more. But it's fun. I could see, you know, I don't think I'd do every image, but if I get a couple good ones and feel comfortable with it.
It's a cropped of the color. This is of the lift.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lift. Yeah, that's one of the color pictures I printed off in the darkroom. So it's
wow.
Yeah. You got to play with that yet, Mark? You got to, and if you think that's going to do your mind in, when you start playing with subtractive colors.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about it. My brain was hurting after this because I knew I was missing something and I had something backwards in my head and I couldn't, you know, I sat there and I tried to figure it out. I couldn't think about it. And I'm like, oh hell, I'm just gonna kind of go through it and, you know, see if I can get something. So
I got the bike picture, which was taken off of the medium format. But, that is on luster paper.
Okay.
It hasn't got the gloss.
Yeah. See, this paper. Which one is it? I have. Yeah, 8x10. This is multi-grade 4. It's the pearl finish. This is the one I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the multi-grade 4 pearl finish. So that's the. It's not a glossy. That's more of a matte finish, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so, I've done some contact prints with the 4x5. You can see. Okay. Yeah, it's that is an actual contact print under a piece of glass. You know, you just put the negative on top of the paper, put a piece of glass over the top, and then just switch the enlarger on full brightness. You know.
Oh, okay. So you're shooting onto the paper through the negative, basically.
There's no focusing necessary because the negative is actually in contact with the paper.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's how you get the black sides, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fun. Yeah. So that was the thing. I got about halfway through, and I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm printing on paper, the actual longer, the longer it's exposed, the darker it's going to get.
Yeah.
Whereas the other way around on the negative, the longer exposed, the lighter it's going to get. So I don't know why I didn't realize that, but it took me a while. And then, so I know some of these initial prints were all, I was backwards.
Yeah. The other thing, of course, is you open up the lens to focus. You got to remember to shut it down again.
Yeah. I
put the timer on.
I did that twice at least, where I forgot to close it down. Focus, got everything lined up and thought I turned it down to 11 or whatever, and I didn't. So, but no, it was fun. It was a good.
It is interesting for someone who's never done it. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. I could see spending hours and hours and hours in there doing that. It's just a matter of what my budget could afford.
Yes, yeah, no, it's not a cheap hobby. If you start using, mind you, the black and white papers are more expensive than the color now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll probably get, I don't know, I'll probably stick with 8x10. I've got to get to the point where I can just confidently take it, know what the steps are, the right lens to use, the exposure, lining it up and getting the borders set, and be able to do that, pretty much by rote. And then at that point, then I can get a little bit, get larger paper. But for now, I'll probably get another couple boxes of 8x10. And
have you got any positive paper, positive 4x5?
No, I don't. I was looking at getting some, but you still have boxes of that, right?
Yeah. I've got about 70 sheets left.
Ooh,
I know box of 50, which I picked up so cheap, but I don't know if it's going to be any good. We'll soon find out.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like the ISO of 1, right? So it's going to be
no, it's 160.
Oh, okay, all right. So it's kind of like
yeah, obviously not much latitude on positive, so you got to get the light readings correct.
Yeah, that's true. And then you just develop it in black and white developer, right?
No, I'll do that in E6 because it's.
Oh, okay, positive. Yeah, all right. Yep. So you got to do it in E6. That's probably why I didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can do it in black and white because I'm sure I had a color negative, which I did accidentally develop. It got mixed in with the other 4x5s because it still had the anti-elation layer on it, which you don't get on black and white.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I developed the Kodachrome in black and white chemicals. I had to physically scrub that that black, is it Ramjet or whatever they call it? The anti-elation layer. I had to physically scrub that off at the end. When I got the film, after I did the fix, I just rinsed it and just literally ran it underwater and just scrubbed it off.
Obviously the process on E6, the first process on color is a black and white development anyway. It's only the color developer that's adding the colors.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you only do the one process, you're obviously going to get a black and white negative.
Yeah. So no, I think I've got enough to keep me busy just figuring out how to print first. That'll probably take me another year or so. But it was interesting. I met another member of the studio who I hadn't met before. He was down there waiting for me to finish up so he can develop some film. But he has a Chamonix same camera as me, the 045 f2 or whatever. Yep, the same one. So, and he really likes it. He's had it for a couple of years.
Did you not see any of his finished products?
No, I did not. He was scanning stuff. He hasn't printed any. He says, I really like just developing the film and then scanning. I like that workflow. It seems to work pretty well for me. So
yeah, scanning's okay, but there's a lot of losses in the scanning. Unless you got a drum scanner, you're not going to get a really good picture off of scanning.
Yeah, no, you can get a pretty. I mean, the scanner we use is well, it's the Epson, but they have a wet mount, which I think does a little bit better because you know the negative is going to be flat against the glass, and it does a better. The fluid kind of helps keep the dust down a little bit too.
Yeah, what they're using V800s then.
Yep, it's a V800 with the what's the name of the fluid? It's almost like it's called it's SMF fluid, scanner mount fluid.
Yeah, so it's like a alcohol base because it evaporates very quickly, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It evaporates pretty quickly. It's got almost an oily kind. It's not straight alcohol. It has a little bit of an oily kind of texture to it. Wow. But when you take it off, you mount it on the glass plate, and then when you take it off, you just blow on it, and it just evaporates. Cleanly evaporates. It doesn't leave any residue or anything.
Well, it's good.
So it works. You get pretty good. I think pretty good quality. Not as good as a drum scan, but
yeah, I've got a V800, but I haven't got the wet mount for it.
Yeah,
because that fluid is quite expensive.
Yes, it is. Yes, we I think we're gonna have to order another bottle. We're almost out. I think the bottle was. I'll say the bottle's like $50 or $60 or something.
Yeah, it is quite expensive, and I don't know if it's that much better than just doing a dry scan.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only done wet mount with the 4x5. I haven't tried any medium format or 35 because I can scan that on my Canon here and get pretty good. Well, 35 for sure. Medium format, if I really wanted to get some better quality scans, I could probably benefit by using the V800.
Yeah, I've scanned the medium format on the V800 and printed off a picture from the inkjet, and I've actually done a color picture on the same negative in the darkroom. But the negative is so much sharper. The darkroom picture is so much sharper than the inkjet.
Oh yeah. No, I would agree. The problem is if you wanted anything bigger than like in your case, you've got basically 6 by or 8 by 10. Is that the largest you can print? Pretty much.
No, I can go up to about 12 by 14.
Okay.
Frame. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I managed to pick up a beard masking frame, which is about the best masking frames you can buy, but they're quite expensive. But I've got 3 or 4 masking frames, and they were all trouble lining things up.
Okay.
But the beard is so much better built, and it's heavy and but that's about the maximum I can use on the masking frame. But the head of the enlarger can swivel, so you can like put your picture on the wall and blow out the sides of a wall if you've got the paper.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think our table and masking frame will go up to 16 by 20.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good size.
Yeah, that's good. And the paper for that's expensive. It's $10 a sheet. It's almost $10 a sheet, something like that. I mean, yeah.
Definitely need to do a test sheet on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a ways in the future for me. But I'm looking for. I mean, I feel pretty, especially over the winter here. If I can just spend some more time in there, run through a couple boxes of 8 by 10 and kind of get comfortable with the process. I mean, I think I could see myself doing larger print.
Yeah, well, Tim knows a professional photographer who does photography on like vehicles and stuff. And she blue tacked a massive sheet of paper to the wall to do a picture. Halfway through, one corner came loose.
Oh,
and it cooled down, that's expensive.
Wow. Yeah, that had to be a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that wouldn't be good. That was an expensive mistake there. Yeah. But no, it's fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So I told Pam, I said, well, you know, I have to just schedule this time, you know, judiciously, because yeah, I could easily see spending a whole day down there just doing that.
I'd say using a digital camera, you can see why they all did it, because well, basically it's the computer doing it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas there's not so much skill involved in knocking off a digital photograph as there is in a.
Oh no, it's so much. Yeah, it is so much more work to do the film, especially if you develop it yourself. And even if you scan it and then print it, that's still 2 extra steps that a digital doesn't have to. You just digital, you pop the card in and you print, pretty much, or you pop it into Lightroom and you adjust and then you print. Film, you gotta develop the film, then you got to scan the film at a minimum, and then you got to go in and do Lightroom or whatever, and then print. But then if you want to print in a darkroom, yeah, I mean, there's
and of course you've got a physical negative that you can put in a shield and store. So your digital photograph is in cyberspace, there's zeros and ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which can be corrupted or lost at any time.
Yeah.
Format changing in the future is going to be a real problem.
Yeah. No, it's a fun process. I really enjoy. I wish I was able to spend more time with the film camera than I am, but I'm enjoying the whole the whole process, from making the image, developing it, and then now printing it. So.
Yeah, it was funny. There's some photographers I know who've done film photography in the past, and a couple of them said, I'd never go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the digital process is so easy.
Yeah. Well, for people that just want to create images and don't want to mess around with all the other stuff that comes with the developing and the printing, I mean, it's easy to see why. They may be very creative people, but they just don't want to deal with all the extra stuff that you have to do.
You see, but what you don't get, Mark, is you don't get the sense of achievement at the end.
It's more. I mean, I like. There's a sense of achievement to digital, but it's more fulfilling, I think, to go through and do it all on the film side of things.
Yeah, because. You and your colleague could go out with your digital cameras, and he can take just as good a photographs as you're taking.
Mm-hmm.
If you can process for a film from start to finish and print your photographs, if you turn around to him and goes, "Here, you have a go,"
mm-hmm.
then he would realise how much more skills necessary.
Yeah. No, it's
that process.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot more involved, a lot more time, a lot more effort, a lot more opportunity for error too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah, it's which I look at as it's part of the fun, but I can see a lot of people just wanting to eliminate that type of stuff and just get down to just make the photo, load it up, and then hit the go button and have it print. So
you do end up with the exceptional photograph every now and then. That's what gives you the really good sense of achievement.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely worth it when you get a keeper.
Yeah, when you get a really good one, and of course with film, you're not taking 500 photos and throwing 490 in a dustbin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I've taken how many have I done sheets? I've done 40. No, I've done 55 sheets of 4x5.
Right.
So far, but almost all black. Well, 45 of them are black and white. The other 10 or so are color. And out of that 55, I've probably got 5 that I really, really like.
Yeah, well, I had a box of 50 foam pan. And I've got none left.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was just cheap black and white, which for practicing, I think it's quite good. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's fun. I'm hoping to get out as we get into the end of October here, first part of November. I've still got a whole box of Ektar that I need to use.
Ektar's expensive.
Yeah. It's $1 a sheet for 4x5, and no, it's more than that. It's $4 a sheet. What am I talking about?
Yeah, it's really expensive. I think over here it's like £5 a sheet.
Yeah, so it's like $3 to $4 a sheet. I think the box I got 10 sheets for $32. So yeah, $3.20 a sheet. But we've got the fall color change coming up here, in 6 weeks or so. So I'm gonna try to take a day or two and get some color negatives. But
I've got 50 sheets unopened in a box, and I can't remember if it's Ektar or Portra. It's well out of date, but it's going to be good for practice.
Oh yeah, and unless it's so, well, you've done film that's 10 years, 15 years out of date, and it came out fine. So,
yeah, true. Yeah.
So, I think the lifespan of film, if it's not even fastidiously cared for, if it's just moderately kept, away from light and a generally cooler rather than warmer place, then you'll get good results for years after the use by date.
Yeah, some of them on eBay they're 25 years out of date, and they reckon that the ISO changes. As time goes by, it's not so sensitive as.
Yeah, so it's going to be it's going to be a lower ISO. I wonder if anybody's done any testing, kind of what the fudge factor is for.
Yeah, I think some of the guys on YouTube have done like 100 ISO, and they've done it at 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they're figuring that it's only half as sensitive to light as it was. And were they getting good? Did they get acceptable results with it?
Yeah. I think the stuff it came out okay, but I don't think it's so much the film as more the chemicals. If your chemicals are not right, then that's what's going to throw your colours all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's you may have the exposure just right and everything, but if you mess up with your chemicals, then it doesn't matter. Your colors, you may be in focus, but the colors won't even be anywhere near what they should be.
Yeah, and your filter pack's got to be set up properly as well, because for the type of film you're using, because you can just change the skies. I've done quite a few, and when I got them in the daylight, there was a lot of magenta in the sky, and obviously the filter pack needed adjusting.
Yeah, it's there's a lot more moving parts with color.
Yeah,
the results are great if you get it done right. And I have not developed color yet, although I think I will. I am going to order that 1 liter kit that Wes got, and do that when I get out this fall. So that way I'll probably have 8 or 10 sheets.
He bought powder though, didn't he?
Yeah, he bought powder.
Yeah, see, I've used powder,
but I don't think he stirred it. He re-agitated it before he used it. I think that might have been the problem.
I've used the powder form developers in the past, and yeah, that is the problem. That you've got to shake them up and dissolve all the crystals in the water you're putting in.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I will get a color kit. A 1 liter color kit.
Well, they sell Techno in America, do they?
I don't think they do. I think that's only, let's see, PETNAL, right? Yeah. I don't think so. It's UK. I don't think. It's at 2 Meridian West, Meridian Business Park, Leicester, UK. That's where they're out of.
Yeah, because we got the Technol E6 kit, and we've got the Technol C41 kits. I've used them both, and they're quite good, especially if you've got the wine stopper corks in the bottles.
Yeah, yeah, but I am going to go ahead and do that suggestion, because it's for C4. Okay, there's Cinestill liquid. There's a Rolly.
Yeah, I've used
5-liter kit.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of luck with Rolly.
No, it doesn't look like Technol's. There's doesn't look like it's directly available.
No, it's probably got chemicals in it that are banned in America.
No, wait a minute. No, Freestyle Photo does it. C41 color negative kit, 1 liter, but it's $54 for a 1 liter kit. That seems kind of expensive.
That is expensive, yeah. Over here, we were paying £18 for a 1 liter kit.
Yeah, so there must be some kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's the E6 that costs the money.
Yeah,
£35 for a 1 liter kit.
Yeah, I can get the ultrafine unicolor with the powder, so it's probably similar to what Wes got. It's $31 for a 1 liter kit, so that's a little more.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got a color. They've got a C41 liquid kit, 1 quart, $25. Arista, which
right.
That's pretty. So $25 plus $7. Yeah, so $31 with shipping. That's pretty good.
That's not too bad. No.
And it's a liquid. It's a liquid kit. So
if it's C41, you're probably going to get about 20 rolls.
Yeah, rolls, or what do we say? How many sheets equal 1 roll?
4 sheets of 4x5 is equal to 35 millimeter.
So if you're doing 20 rolls of 36, that means you could do 80 sheets, basically. Yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah,
yeah, that's a lot of sheets. That would be inexpensive just to get that many sheets.
Yeah, me and Tim, we got into the 30s with the 1 liter kit of Technol.
Mm-hmm.
Before it started, the colors were really, we'd done a roll of film, and the colors were just finished. It was like all green.
Didn't you start getting green? And
yeah, we was getting just green and all over the picture. But
yeah,
obviously one of the chemicals has stopped working.
yeah, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. But yeah, so that's not too bad. $31 for a kit, 1 liter, and if I put it in the glass bottles or with the stoppers, yeah, I should be able to keep that around for a year, I would think.
We got all that out, and we never had the wine stopper corks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, there's guys on the internet reckon that they've had C41 made up for over 12 months, and it still works fine.
Yeah, as long as you keep the oxygen out. Yeah,
it's the E6 that takes a tumble, but it's unstable Blix.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, it's combining 2 into 1 there, so it's constantly eating away at itself, even when it's sitting there.
It is. Yeah, that's where the Rolly kit. I think it had a separate bleach and Blix. It didn't have a Blix. It had a bleach and a fix.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Bellini kit, I've got a kit of C41, and that's got separate bleach and fix.
Okay.
But I haven't made it up yet because we haven't got any C41 color film to develop.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I've got rolls and rolls of positive in everything, so I've got to start using it up.
Yeah, you've got about another month and a half, and then you kind of get into the gray doldrums of winter for a few months.
Yeah. There was one guy on eBay. He bought a load of positive in 120, and there was 10 rolls of 36, 35 millimeter.
Okay.
And it was working out like £3 a roll, which is really cheap for positive because it's nearly £12 a roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just bought it because it was just a bargain.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to go through 10 rolls of 36.
Yeah, that's a Well, you could pretend you have a DSLR with a high buffer memory. You can just
exactly.
You need to get a motor drive for your Leica.
Yeah.
You know, get 5 frames a second with film. You know, and then go through a roll in 6 seconds.
Well, my backup drive on this computer keeps kicking up, saying that there's been no backup for 200 days. I think the drive's full up.
Yeah.
Really,
it's full. You have the drive is full.
Yeah. So if I have I've got a terabyte in the desktop here.
Okay.
If that goes wrong, then I'm going to be losing quite a lot of photographs.
Yeah, you should spend a couple £100 or whatever and get another USB backup drive or something.
Yeah, I've got a digital drive, a small one there, which is half a terabyte. But yeah, I really should get another one.
Now, do you do any online backup, like cloud backup service?
No, I haven't bothered. Yeah, because mainly we've been using film. So back once you develop the film, you know, you got it all in the folders in the.
Yeah. So if you lose the scan, you can always rescan it.
Yeah, I use the zip bags to keep the 4x5s in.
Mm-hmm.
One in each bag. So it's good storage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. No, I do. I've got a 2 terabyte in the computer, which is only about half full. But that's got but I do use a cloud backup service, and I don't back up every file on my computer, but I back up the images, the Lightroom library, basically.
Yeah, I know. I've got access to iCloud. Yeah, I don't know how much you can load up to it. I don't know. I know it's quite a bit free, isn't it, with Apple?
Yeah, they give you. I don't know if they give you a terabyte free. They give you a pretty good amount. I have iCloud available on my laptop, but I don't utilize it really that much. I have a bunch of music that I've saved to a drive, and I back that up. You know, like CDs and digital music. And I back that up to the cloud, and then most of the other stuff I do for work is on Google Drive anyway, so it's already in the cloud. So I don't need to.
Oh yeah, I just get messages coming up every now and then saying, "Do you want to save these to the cloud?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all those digital. You just got to decide. Like with us, if we're shooting with film or whatever, like you said, if the drive blows up and you lose your scans, well, at least you have the negatives.
Yeah, there was a guy on YouTube. He had taken some photos about 8 years ago, and he'd scanned the negatives when he took them. And of course, he's recently rescanned the negatives with a modern scanner,
okay,
800, and he put side by sides up. And, yeah. The technology has just moved on. Rescanning the old negatives, they were like 10 times better than what he'd originally scanned.
Oh yeah, well, he probably just had a real basic,
Yeah.
real a scanner that worked great for scanning receipts and business cards.
Yeah.
But, beyond that, nothing else. Yeah, it's if you're going to go through all the trouble of scanning, which it does take time. I figure I might as well get a good quality scan if I can.
Yeah, you get a scanner that scans at 4,000 dpi, but you can't use it.
Yeah,
not a 4x5 because you could end up with a gigabyte photograph.
Yeah. Now I set the V800 to basically 2400 DPI.
Yeah, I think on 4x5 I'll drop it to 1600.
Yeah, I keep it. For black and white, if I keep it at 2400, it ends up being about a 300 meg file, and color would be 1.2 gig or something.
Yeah,
which gets kind of big.
Yeah, well, the color, of course, you're scanning the whole surface area for RGB all the way.
Yep, 3 times. Yeah.
Digital camera hasn't got that kind of scan. I mean, when you take a color photograph with a digital camera, if you've got a 24 megapixel chip, you're only doing six meg of the blue.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, because it divides it up.
Yeah, you're taking 12 meg of green because for some reason you need twice as many green because of the human eye perceptive of green.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other 6 meg is red.
Yeah, so you got red and blue at 6, and then 12 at So you're really only. Whereas, if you do a color negative and you scan it at 2400 DPI, you're getting all.
You're doing the whole 4x5. RGB right through. It's so much more information. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's and that's why the file sizes get so big rather than a 30 megabyte raw file.
Well, I've only done one. I scanned a positive at 4000 DPI, and that was 1.2 gigabyte.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, 400 meg per, basically for about, because the 5. Yeah, for a 5-inch at 4000 DPI, that's 20. Yeah, that's a big file.
Yeah, it is a big file because when I clicked on it to open it up, this computer is not a slow computer, but it seemed to take forever to display it.
Yeah, the computer we use that is hooked up to the scanner down at the studio is a older, I don't know what year, but it's a Mac Mini.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so you scan color files at anything above, like basically 2000. It just takes. It'll just sit there. It'll never open up. Basically, it runs into a buffer overload. The RAM's full. Everything's full, and it just sits there.
Yeah.
So I learned that lesson when I scanned one, and it took an hour to process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's not going to work. I think I better bump down the resolution.
But I was reading the resolution. Some guy was saying that a 4x5 negative has 16 times more resolution than a 35 mil.
Yeah, because of the area, the size, total square inches, I guess, right?
I don't think there's many digital cameras are going to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Digital cameras have moved on. There's twice as good as film. Still going to be nowhere near what a 4x5 can produce.
Yeah, what a good exposure on a 4x5. Well, let's jump into these images because there's a few, I think. Yeah. Simi's been playing with fire. Did you take a look at the group?
No, I haven't seen it. I've actually been working in the house this week. I haven't done any photography.
Oh, okay. All right, you're kind of like me. You're not doing any photography. So you're remodeling your house still?
Yeah, I ripped out the shower was leaking, and I've had to take the tray out and replace the floor. Then we got to retile the room.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the last one from last week. Your Book of Souls. Oh, we did. Yeah, this was from last week too. Okay. Yeah.
Simi's, yeah.
Last week. So here he goes. Maybe. Load up. Speaking of computer.
You're using that Mac Mini, are you, Mark?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking that this computer is almost 8 years old. Oh, it's going on 9 years old actually. So it's probably time for a replacement.
So this is the one they used to break the Enigma code, is it?
Yeah. It's okay. It's taking some time here. It doesn't want to leave Simi's image, I don't think. Let me close this up. You want to renew my certified financial planner designation, Dennis? You want to contribute? I'm assuming.
You went off there, Mark. What you done?
Let's see. Let's go ahead and switch. Can you? Nope, you can't see it.
No, can't see nothing. Hello, Joe's come on.
Oh, there's Joe. Joe caused it. That's what he did.
Had to
let me
had to watch the Rams, man. Rams kick some butt, so definitely had to watch the Rams.
Let's see. Let me go back and see. There's Dennis. There's that. Oh, my camera just went off. That's lovely. Video. Turn camera off. Turn camera on. Now, let's see. Let's see if you guys can see this. Nope. You can't see what I'm.
Mark, if you paid your electricity bill this week?
Yeah, I did actually. I just saw it cleared. It cleared the bank on Friday actually, so I should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got what you had yesterday, Joe.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that virus. It's going around, you know.
Ah, man. All right, let's try something here. Cameraman, no.
It's that darn virus. It's going around.
Well,
it's
I don't know what you've done, Mark, but you clicked on something and suddenly just it all went off.
Yeah, I was clicking on the Flickr group, and
that's it. It flicked right off.
Yeah, it's obviously working now.
It did. Well, the camera, that's kind of strange. All right, let me see something here. So how's it going, Joe? So the Rams won, right?
Oh man, yeah, but we paid the price. We lost some key pieces on defense, man, and we've got a short week because we got that Thursday nighter coming up against the Vikings. So not a good time to lose your two cornerbacks on defense.
Yeah.
And right now the Cardinals are barely holding on against the Bears. I sold those tickets to a buddy of mine. They're playing here right now. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's why I figured you weren't going to be here because you would probably be at the game, but you sold it. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna. I don't know if I stop, it doesn't go back.
No, it still keeps going.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop and then I'll start it up again. So I think the link should work. Let me try that. So back in a flash here.
Okay.
We'll see. Cross your fingers.